Hello, everyone. Good morning. It's a pleasure to have you all here with us today. My name is Rocío Jiménez, and I've been working in DEKRA testing and certification for the last 3 years as automotive key account manager. And I'll be introducing our latest updates on the area requirements webinar. We know this is a topic of great relevance and interest right now, and we are here to provide you with valuable information, practical tools, and to show you how DEKRA can support you in these regards. Before getting started, let me provide you some tips to ensure the optimal use of the webinar session. In first step, please keep your speakers and headphones on and your microphones muted. If you have any question during the presentation, there is no problem. You can type your questions into the chat in your control panel. In case that you prefer sending us some specific inquiries, of course, you can also contact us by email or by phone. You can use the contact information you can see in this slide. Finally, if you miss anything, don't worry. The webinar is being recorded and will be available afterward via the same access link. Today, to address this topic, we have the honor of having Luna Torres with us. She is our expert in global compliance in DEKRA Spain, and she's the manager of the tax force. She's a communication engineer with 10 years of experience in type approval and research projects. She has played several roles, including research and certification engineer topics, and leading international projects. And she has an extensive knowledge in various certification programs and wireless technologies such as Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, LTE, and wireless automotive applications. Her knowledge, for sure, will offer us an enriched perspective. So without further ado, let's welcome Luna and begin our presentations. Take it away, Luna.
Thank you so much, Rocío, for your introduction. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. As my colleague Rocío said, my name is Luna Torres. I'm Global Compliance Specialist at DEKRA in Spain and the manager of the tax for radio regulatory database. This webinar aims to inform you on how DEKRA can help you to be updated on the latest radio regulations, regulatory changes at a worldwide level, allowing you to plan the design process of your radio devices and put them into the global markets, saving a lot of resources. First of all, I'd like to explain that the type approval team is, on the one hand, made up of telecommunications engineers, or team, who deal with technical and legal regulations related to type approval, of course, at an international level. They are in charge of analyze the regulation and track all the changes. In addition, we are in contact with authorities, and we also have the support of a large number of local partners, helping us to contact with authorities to clarify the different regulatory aspects related to type approval. And on the other hand, the team is also made up of type approval experts to carry out the homologation processes and obtain the certificate for a specific product. Therefore, we also have practical information that incentivizes the exchange of information on certification issues. And in this slide is the index with the topics we're seeing in this webinar. We start with the challenge, the answer, we'll see the markets, the functional characteristics, some type approval process details. We talk about cybersecurity, the global coverage, technologies, FAQ, a demo, and other regulatory compliance services. Other DEKRA certification services too, and why DEKRA? Contact information and request for a demo. First, let's see the challenge you are facing every day. All of you need to add radio frequency technologies in your devices. As you know, radio technologies are increasing day by day. In addition, it's needed to include them in multiple vertical markets, such as automotive, health, consumer, electronic, IT, industrial, and telecom. And nowadays, there are a lot of devices with a lot of radio technologies competing in the market. And this makes the product planning and launch a larger scale more and more complex every day. So you have to deal with global markets with numerous radio technologies and an ever-growing number of frequency bands for providing the services. In addition, requirements vary from country to country and they change often over the time. So capturing all the radio frequency information is complicated and very hard because you need the specific information in order to planify your international country approval. It's not easy to track all the changes, it's not easy to find out all the regulations that apply, and you need a lot of resources to track what is changing, and it can be a nightmare because you are not dealing with the language of devices, you are dealing with the campaigns. And it's not your task to deal with these changes, it's not your task to track them. Also, it takes a lot of time and resources. It's required to invest a lot of time, a lot of money on this issue. And although you make this tax, perhaps the information you get is not accurate. This tax is required to be performed by people specialized in these activities, specialized in the analysis of regulation and the extraction of the information of your interest. Also, taking into account the continuous changes, the regulation field is always changing and it's not enough to have the information. You need to be continuously tracking what is changing. So we have the answer. What can DEKRA do for you? We can offer you the Tax for Radio Regulatory Database. It's the first regulatory database on the market with such complete features, providing you a strong support to plan the type approval strategy for your products. So it allows you to plan the product design and the launch. You can get information on technical requirements, which is very important in the design process of a product. Also, information on the certification processes, essential information in homologation issues. You can get real-time reporting from this online platform available 24/7. It's built into the online tool Tax4 testing, powered by Tax4 testing, approval, and certification system. This tool is fully developed and designed by DEKRA. So Tax4 Radio Regulatory Database is a powerful online database service which includes radio frequency, regulatory, and approval requirements in over 206 countries across plus 20 wireless technologies and 260 frequency bands. As we have been talking about, the database is continuously updated by 14 telecommunications engineers specialized in research activities. They are in charge of the database updates. We have the support of a solid net of local partners, so we provide reliable and accurate information during planning of regulatory activities, thereby facilitating a smooth launch of any product with embedded radio technologies. So by this way, Tax4 can save a lot of time and resources to companies competing in a dynamic global market. Our tool is focused in all the key markets, such as automotive, health, consumer electronics, IT, for devices embedded radio technologies. You can get approval information for all these markets in relation to the radio regulations and radio technologies of your interest. The tool offers you the creation of reports by technologies and or countries. Also, a printable Word version available, and you can download information in Excel files too. The tool also displays information on the latest updates performed, and also there is a module concerning frequently asked questions about certification issues. We'll see it in a greater detail later. In our tool, we provide some approval details such as is certification required? Not all the countries require mandatory certification. In some cases, certification is not needed or may be voluntary. The type of certificate, for example, certificate, a declaration of conformity, or an exception letter. Details on certification process. We get all this information from regulations. The validity of the certificate, It means the period in which the certificate is valid, and the need of a local representative. Some regulations states this need. We provide also the information on the roles of the local representative, the marketing requirements, labeling, packaging, and user manual requirements, and information needed for the post-approval maintenance. And concerning cybersecurity, the service is designed to provide advice on certification programs focused on requirements, and these programs don't only have to require compliance with radio technical restrictions, but they can also establish requirements related to EMC, electrical safety, or health. In recent years, we have noticed how the authorities that regulate these certification programs are also including cybersecurity requirements. And of course, everything that is required will be included in the contents of our database. A clear example is the European Union. The Radio Equipment Directive, which is the directive governing the compliance for radio equipment, set requirements on radio specs, also on EMC, electrical safety, and health. And with the publication of the delegated act to the Radio Equipment Directive, essential requirements related to cybersecurity have been added. And of course, we include them in our database. And it's not the only case. There are certification programs of other geographical areas adding cybersecurity requirements too. So we include information of any cybersecurity requirement that is needed to get the type approval certificate for a radio device. We provide a global coverage with experience on certification issues in 226 countries, and it's possible by the direct contact with authorities and with the support of a solid network of local compliance partners who also help us to contact with the authorities to clarify the issues on certification. This slide shows the technologies we offer at a worldwide level. A total of 19 technologies available in 226 countries. We offer cellular technologies, LTE, 2G, 3G, and short-range technologies like Wi-Fi, ultra-wideband, wireless chargers, Zigbee, Bluetooth, besides medical applications or audio and video broadcasting receivers, applications for automotive sector, such as automotive radar or immobilizers, GNS receivers, LP1 in all the frequency bands you see in this slide. So as you can see, we offer a wide range of technologies and frequency bands. We also offer you information in a partial geographical area scope for these 4 technologies: 3GPP LP1, LTE, getting full coverage, 5G, and intelligent transport systems. For 3GPP LP1, 38 bands in 80 geographical areas. For LTE, 66 bands, 80 geographical areas. 5G, 60 bands, 135 geographical areas. And for intelligent transport system, vehicle to everything, in the following frequency bands. And information related to interesting technical parameters from a certification perspective, such as maximum power, work cycle, antenna gain, and any other parameters that apply for any of these technologies. As you can see, every day, every year, we're increasing our geographical scope in these innovative technologies. The tool also has a module on frequently asked questions, where we provide information of interest when you are involved in a type approval process. Within this context, our clients often tell us that they are facing problems with finding some information in regulations. And in many cases, it's necessary to ask the authorities directly. It's not easy, but if you are launching a campaign, it turns not viable. So we can do this work for you, for research all these frequency questions and offer it you in our tool. And this module is alive. We incorporate the new points of interest that arise. When you contract the database, 3 FAQ are included by default with no extra costs. They are family approval, extension on an existing certificate, the risk in case of lack of certificate, And upon customer request, we can also offer you information on the type approval of the active antennas. This is an issue that in the latest years has arisen a lot. Also information about how is considered the interior of a car, indoor, outdoor. This topic has been clarified a lot in latest years. Information about the modular approval. If we can cover with the modular type approval certificate, the host device, or it's required to do some data testing or additional partial certification. Information about receiver certification. Information about if there is an exception in case my device is installed in a car. Information about if the exemptions in case the device that we want to get the type approval will be installed in the car. Information about the electrical labeling, if it's possible to show the label on a display or in a website. Information about the certification of a spare part. Since we want to show you the entire tool and not to extend the time, we'll put out a video of a live demo in which you can see all the parts of our database.
Here we have the landing page of the database. We have 6 modules. The main modules are the technical information, certification requirements, and FAQ. And we have also 3 additional modules: geographical area report, updates log, and document search. Okay, the technical information module to get guidance on the allowed technologies, bands, and relevant parameters with reference to the current spectrum regulations and the applicable testing standards. The certification requirements module, here is available information on the applicable approval processes and the required marketing requirements. FAQ, through this module, you have access to questions such as family approval, extension of an existing certificate, risk in case of lack of certificates, among other questions. And also 3 additional modules. Geographical area report. It's possible to download a complete report comprising technical restrictions, certification requirements, and FAQ for a country. And the updates log module, okay, if any part of the database is updated, we inform on the changes in a structured way through this section. And document search module. In the database, we provide access to official documentation through the official web links. In this module, you can find directly the legal basis, spectrum regulations, and testing standards. The bottom panel displays a list with the latest updates performed in the database. The red mark informs about the number of updates pending to be read. In this case, since the last time we have consulted the updates log module, 4 updates have been made to the database. It is a demo. Please take in mind that we only show some of the available countries and technologies. Let's see each module. The technical information module can help manufacturers in the design process of their devices. It provides information about the technologies and the frequency bands allowed in each country, the applicable regulations and testing standards, and the technical parameters for each technology. In the search panel, you can make searches by selecting geographical area, the technologies, and frequency bands. If we don't choose any band, all of them are selected. The same case for the countries or technologies. Also, the tool allows to create lists of countries and technologies to make regular searches easier. By this way, we can select the countries and create customized list. The first section shows information on technical requirements through several sections informing about the allowed technologies, the allowed frequency bands, and the technical parameter restrictions for a certain technology, and also the spectrum regulations and the testing standard section. Let's see the first panel. Which technologies are allowed? This section shows the allowed technologies for the countries and bands we have selected. The color of the row let us know at a glance whether the technology is allowed for each country. When the technology is allowed in all the selected frequency bands, we have this case, for an instance, automotive radar in Taiwan is allowed in the bands of 24 and 60 gigahertz. So the column, it is allowed in the selected band, shows the value yes, and remark provides an explanation on this. This technology is allowed in all selected frequency bands, and the row is white. When the technology is not allowed, the row is in less. This is the case for Taiwan. Technology 2G is not allowed, and the row is in red. We have the information also in the column, it is allowed in the selected bands, and no. And the column remarks shows that this technology is not allowed. When the technology is partially allowed, it means that it's only allowed in some of the selected frequency band, as the column remark explains. The third column shows the message partially, and the row is in yellow. For instance, China, Wi-Fi technology is allowed, but not in the band of 6 gigahertz. We can download a report in Excel format by clicking on Export to Access button. Okay, the next panel is which frequency bands are allowed. In this section, the information of each frequency band is in a separate row. We can also download an Excel report with this information. In this panel, the allowed bands are shown in white and red for the not allowed bands. As we can see, the band of 60 gigahertz is not allowed in China. We also provide information when the band is planned to be allowed in yellow, although this is not the situation for any of the selected countries in the demo. The following section shows the applicable technical requirements, spectrum regulations, and testing standards per technology. It is required to select one technology. Each technology is defined by certain technical parameters, as we can see in the screen. Here we have the case for Wi-Fi technology. And also, we can download an Excel report by clicking on Export to Excel. There are two types of templates available. In the spectrum regulation section, you can find the regulatory documents containing the technical requirements. For instance, in this panel, we have the technical regulations for China for each frequency band. And below, a section with the official links to the documents. Here we have the testing standard section. In the same way, you can find the applicable testing standards. Here we have the additional information per frequency band. These are the applicable standards, and below, the official link to the public documents. Let's see the next module. Certification requirements module. This module can help manufacturers to know the certifications required for their products. This module answers the question related to type approval processes. So the first section shows the applicable approval processes for each technology band in a specific geographical area. We can see the certification program, the certification scheme to be followed, the certification route, the approval process that applies to your product. Here we have the process that applies in Malaysia for Bluetooth and Wi-Fi. And We also show information on if the approval is required. It means mandatory or voluntary. Okay. For example, for Wi-Fi devices, the approval is mandatory in Malaysia. And for Namibia, it's voluntary for some frequency bands, such as 2.4 gigahertz for Wi-Fi devices installed into cars, such as car radios. The explanation is in this field. The column regulation based on reflects if the regulation is based on ETSI or FCC or any other regulation. And in the next panel, we also provide information on the marketing requirements, labeling, packaging, and user manual requirements. Here we have an example of the information shown for Malaysia with exemptions, other topics, the same for packaging, and the same for the user manuals. And let's open the certification program to see the details. Here we have the information for each certification program. And we have the name of the geographical area, the name of the authority, and the type approval database. When authorities publish the list of the type approved devices, we show this information in this field. Here we have the legal basis document. You can find the documents related to type approval processes, market requirements, and any others. And here we have the information of the certification routes. We can find the type of certificate. For this case is a type approval certificate. Other cases, it could be a self-declaration of conformity. Here we have a general description of the approval process, details on certification process, the certification scope. We also provide information on testing information, if it's testing required, it is a local testing required. And also we provide information on if local representative if needed. We also add the roles of such local representative. For this case is needed, and the roles are applicant and holder of the certificate and importer. In this field, we provide information on the validity of certificate and additional information that it is valuable for the processes. Through this module, you have access to questions such as family approval, extension of an existing certificate, risk in case of lack of certificates, among others. For example, here we have the answers for the active antennas questions. And we can also can download a report in Excel format. Okay, here we have the geographical area, the certification program, and the answer. And let's see the updates log module. As we have explained, all the updates made in the database, we provide information on latest updates in this module in a structured way. For example, we provide information. We have changed some information in Taiwan. This is the date, the technologies affected, and here we have the bands affected. The module is certification requirements, so the updates has been performed in this module. Here we have the certification program name, the certification routes, the section affected. The section is the mark requirement and user manual. We provide information on the regulatory change, the reason of this change, the previous data information, and the updated data. This is the way, the structured way where we inform about the change in the tool. And finally, we have the search documents module. In the database, we provide access to official documentation through the official web links. And in this model, you can find directly the legal basis, spectrum regulations, and testing standard, in this case for Brazil. Through these tabs, we can access to the different documents, and we can search by regulation, by name, by technologies. We can do these searches.
So, along with the tax4 database, we also offer the newsletter service, which is very useful to inform on current and future regulatory updates. It's a complementary service of our database. Because in the database, you find information analyzed in detail, you find the technical restrictions and certification requirements that apply today, the spectrum regulations, the testing standards that it is for nowadays. Our newsletter keeps you updated every month, letting you know the latest publications, final regulations, draft, the tendencies, the analysis of some specific situations from the regulatory point of view. It's a newsletter focused on technical regulations, technical standards, and the type approval processes of radio devices. We cover the same technologies covered by the database. It's a monthly service. The subscription is for 1 year. And to answer what it makes different, we can say that you have access to exclusive regulatory updates. We're in touch with local partners and authorities, and sometimes it makes that we have access to information that is not easy to get and it is not in general available. So through this service, you receive updates on radio regulatory issues. You will count with a team made up by engineers with great experience. The same team who is feeding the database, the regulatory and compliance team, is the one who is creating every month the newsletter topics. As we have been talking about, a total of 14 telecom engineers experts in research activities focused on radio issues are tracking the changes and analyzing the regulations. They are feeding the two services, the database and the newsletter. And of course, you don't receive a short summary of what's happening. We explained you the impact of the news about what's happening, the impact of the type approval processes, and the impact on the technologies. And also, I'd like to talk to you about other certification services that DEKRA currently offers. International approval services. So you can hire with us the certification of your radio devices in 226 countries. You can handle your certification projects through an innovative tool, the DAX4 project management system. It's powered by DAX4, and you can control everything what is happening in the project thanks to this management system. We can offer DCB service, the telecommunications certification body by FCC, the foreign certification body by SET for Canada, the notified body for the radio equipment directive, notified body for the EMC directive, the Bluetooth qualification consultant, ULA Alliance as qualification body, ENF Forum, Wi-Fi Alliance, and PTCRB certification. A lot of services of your interest. And why DEKRA? We are the top option in the market related to homologation services. We are one of the leading companies worldwide in the field of product testing and product certification, a broad portfolio of product testing services based on international standards in the areas of safety, performance, and reliability. a wide range of EMC, wireless, and interoperability testing services for connected products and applications, a comprehensive scope of product certification, type approval, and homologation services, and certification marks for global markets. In-depth experience in selected markets, for example, consumer, electrical, electronics, ICT, healthcare, industrial, and automotive. Laboratories in more than 30 locations in Europe, Asia, and the Americas. And if you're interested in any of the services we have been talking about, the Radio Regulatory Database or the Radio Regulatory Newsletter, you can contact with us for a demo of these services. By this way, we can show you in detail our tool. Don't hesitate to contact us for living the user experience of this tool, having access to a personalized demo according to your needs. So now it's the time for the question and answer. So, Rocío, there are maybe some questions for us.
Thank you, Luna, for that insightful presentation. As you say, we will now move to the Q&A season. If you have any questions still pending, please type them into the chat box. We will have time to answer them all. At least we will try. So let's get started. First of all, you said, Luna, that the database is continuously updated, but to be informing the updates in the tool, is it needed to be logged and access to the tool? Is there any other way to be notified on this?
Currently, we notify on the updates to the database in the bottom panel of the landing page. And all the changes, the latest changes are listed in this panel, and we provide further information of them in the updates module. But currently, it is needed to enter to our platform. You need to be logged. But we are currently developing a notification system via email. We expect that it will be finished by the first quarter of the next year. So it could be possible to access to the updates, to be informed via email.
Okay, thank you. There is another interesting question here. Sometimes authorities publish regulation that will come into force in the future. Is that information in the database?
The database has information about regulations that are in force. To inform about the future regulations, we provide the newsletter service. For example, regulations in draft status, we talk about them in the newsletter, but there is not this information in the database. In the database is information that is in force. So we include the new regulatory information in our database close to the days it comes into effect.
Okay, thank you, Luna. Another one, can we get EMC electrical safety and health requirements on the tax4 database? If yes, how?
Okay. It is a radio regulatory database, so we provide information of certification program focused on radio frequency requirements. So we don't provide information of certification programs focused on EMC or safety requirements. But as we have been talking about, if to get the type approval for a radio frequency device, if are needed EMC requirements or safety, such as is the case for the European Union. There are essential requirements on MEC and safety to get the type approval to be in compliance with the RED Equipment Directive. We include that, but we don't include information based only EMC aspect. But if you are interested in get a certification of your devices, please don't hesitate to contact us because we can offer you a research on demand or we can help you to resolve your problems.
Thank you. Another one, will you offer support for complaining with the future regulation of the European Union Cyber Resilience Act?
Concerning the Cyber Resilience Act, it is not currently enforced. It is quite different. Up to date, it is still been developing. The testing standards are developing. It is not currently enforced. So currently, it has been published, the delegated act to the Radio Equipment Directive, which establishes essential requirements within the Radio Equipment Directive. So we provide currently, at this moment, information on those essential requirements, but sure, we are doing a close follow-up of the the Resilience Act, Cybersecurity Resilience Act, and we keep informed on this. But it is not enforced. We are currently developing. We need to wait until it will be finished.
Thank you, Luna. Another one related to cybersecurity. Can I find information about cybersecurity in the database?
In the same lines for EMCO safety, we don't provide information of certification programs that are only focused on cybersecurity issues. But to get the type approval certificate for our radio equipment, it is needed to comply with cybersecurity requirements. Of course, we provide them. For example, we have been talking about the European Union. Also, Brazil published a cybersecurity act, and it is needed to be in compliance with it to get the type approval certificate for a radio device. And of course, we provide this information. But as I've said for the previous way, if you have the need to get the type approval for a certification program that it is based in cybersecurity issues, please don't hesitate to contact us because we can help you on this. That this information is not in the database because our database is focused on radio issues.
Thank you, Luna. I'm going for the one, if the newsletter is up to date, how old is information in the normal database?
Sorry, could you repeat?
Sure. If the newsletter is up to date, how old is information in the normal database?
How old is information? The information is all the information that is currently enforced, we provide in the database. We update once regulation is next to come into force, we update information on this. And in the cases that some countries don't publish regulations, we contact every year directly to authorities and with our local partners to be informed if there is any update on this. So we update constantly the database with the new events, and we also review all the information that it is currently in the database. We do rewarding to clarify all the contents, and the information is information recent. But for those cases that there is no new published information, we contact directly with the authorities in the absence of regulations.
Okay, another one. How can I obtain information on certification of non-radio products? Do you provide this service?
This service, it is not available within the database, as we have been talking about. We deal with radio access. So as for the previous cases, please contact us because we can help you in the approval of non-radio products. We can offer you a research on demand. We are able to offer a specific research to tailor to your needs.
Okay. If this database is understood correctly, do all products involving RF need to be registered? Is it mandatory?
All the products, sorry?
All the products involving RF, if they need to be registered.
No, we provide information. It is not to register to your products. All the info is general information for all the technologies that we have shown you in our portfolio, for all the frequency bands that we can offer you. And it is not to register your devices, but of course you can send us your questions for your certain products with your specific characteristics. We are happy to provide you support in all we can do it.
Thank you, Luna. There are many questions on these regards. How much does the database cost?
The database is contact with us in order to get your quotes, because this service is absolutely personalized. You can choose those countries, technologies, and the frequency band you are interested within the portfolio we can offer you. So additionally, in the case there is a technology or a frequency band of your interest that it is not available in our portfolio, for us in the previous situations, we can offer you the research on demand project and include the resource in the tool in order you can get profit of it.
There are several questions, but I think most of them are already covered. I will launch last one, unless someone else wants to type something. Can I download a quote automatically from Tax4?
No, it's not possible to automatically download a quote for Tax4. For an offer, please contact to our sales department, and we'll be glad to support you, because I've explained in the previous question, it is a personalized service and we can offer only what you need. So.
Okay, so if there are no more questions, I think we can close here. Thank you all for attending today's webinar. A special thanks to our speaker, Luna, and to the team behind the scenes for making this event possible. We look forward to seeing you at the next webinar. We remain at your disposal for any further information. Thank you and goodbye.